So I tried to dye my hair pink and then ended up being ginger. Anyway, I thought about this video for a really long while, if to be fairly honest. And always there's this kind of fear around it, specifically like when you call out famous people, you're like, am I important enough to like be called out? So basically, I wanted to address PewDiePie's transphobia. Because he has been dragged through dirt for every single action he's done, besides misgendering trans women. Specifically, I think there was a Dr. Phil episode, there was Christine Chan, um, and there was another situation where Marcia sent him some video and he was like, traps are funny. So, what I wanted to say is that people are very forgiving. And I don't know why. And it's not just PewDiePie, but in general, transgender people seem to be the end of the joke. And specifically transgender people, which don't fit the mold of a cis person, kind of. So let's look at Christine Chan. I thought that he would um, correct himself by the end of the video when she reveals to be a trans woman, but he doesn't. Then there's the Dr. Phil, which clearly has a trans woman stating that she is a trans woman, and PewDiePie made a joke out of that. And then there's the Mars incident with a trap, which I won't recall as well. So PewDiePie has been dragged through dirt and dirt and dirt and dirt and dirt. I'm saying this because I actually quite enjoyed his videos back in the day, and just like everyone else, I'm kind of like, I laughed. That's why I protected PewDiePie or wasn't on PewDiePie's side, whatever. But is this really the way to go? Is just liking someone enough to justify their transphobia? Of course not. And I understand that nobody is perfect, but when it repeats and repeats and repeats and no one calls out, and in general the media kind of is transphobic. Everyone, if you want to like look on a global scale and forget about coronavirus for a bit, is transphobic to some extent. Like I was talking to my partner today, and he showed me a meme about Romanian people, and he was like, no matter what Eastern European you encounter, they will have like assumptions about Romanian people. But the thing is, that goes over to trans people. And yes, there is a massive, massive, massive xenophobia, racism towards Romanian people. But that's just another video, really. And I'm here to talk from my platform, which is about trans people. I'm not perfect. I've said things in the past, I've hurt people in the past. But now we live in an era where we try to kind of be better. People dig out receipts. And No one took out PewDiePie's current receipts, which baffles me kind of. Like, what's wrong with just approaching him saying, hey dude, you have a massive trans audience and you shit on us. I don't watch him anymore. I haven't. Because the last time I did, I was like, okay, that's enough. 3 strikes. That's it. And I kept forgiving him because he helped me when I was really depressed. I would just open YouTube every day and he'd always have a video. So it's hard. We don't have enough media, we don't have enough support. And now the more I've been seeing is like people panicking about corona. There's always like some shortage of testosterone here and there. Uh, in a non-corona world or pre-corona world, if you must. And everyone always panics, and people think there's a conspiracy against cis people to lure them into being trans. I've heard it all. And so when someone just does a joke which just involves misgendering, and it goes on and on and on, and specifically when you have such a huge platform, instead of spreading um, love, acceptance, you spread hate just for the fuck of a joke, which isn't even funny. I mean, where's the it's not a punchline. There's no joke. There is no joke. There's just hatred. And um yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's not just Pewdiepie, there's other celebrities. Like I touched in my previous video about Caitlyn Jenner being accepted by Ellen, for instance. And so now there was recently a whole commotion about Trisha Paytas. I have no idea what's going on there. And that's the thing, we are very quick to judge. We want this perfect representation. So we want perfect representation and we don't judge. So it's like we handpick a set of rules for every individual. For trans people, they have to know everything. For cis people, they have to know like the basics. Why should we be the woke encyclopedias? And at the same time, it's cis people who judge us. We don't get, well, most of the time, we get cis doctors to determine if we are trans. And of course, I've gone through that process. I've had great doctors. But it's something we should think about. So that was me, Jamie, and stay safe. Do not drink Corona beer because I want it all for myself.